Hey, we're back. Apparently we covered a lot in the last episode, according to Lewis, which I think is... What the hell did we talk about? Twilight and... I only remember really talking about... Oh, yeah, the creepy valley or whatever.
The fibula's connected to the tibia.
Femur. And the femur's connected to the femur. And the femur's connected to the femur. And all that's left of you is your femur.
So there was this thing which I thought was really interesting. Do you remember the Bone Wars? Did you ever hear about the Bone Wars? It's a thing I heard about on the old QIL's podcast. Which
yeah, you're a big fan of all that stuff, yeah.
But
why do you listen to that stuff?
Apparently, like, it's just as bad as we are. Like, they're completely wrong. Turns out every episode is just a lot of the stuff they say.
Every
is bollocks.
episode is just nonsense.
But yeah, so the Bone Wars was really interesting because there were these two guys, Edward Drinker Cope, okay, of the Academy of Natural Sciences in Philadelphia, and Othniel Charles Marsh of the Peabody Museum of Natural History at Yale. I love the word Peabody.
Sorry, this guy's last name is Drinker Coke?
Drinker Cope, yeah, Drinker Cope, not Coke.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said Drinker Coke. I was like, I immediately called bullshit. I thought you were going to tell some sort of stupid dad joke or something.
No, so Eddie, we'll call him Eddie. Eddie Drinker Coke and
Eddie Drinker
Charlie
Coke,
Marsh. Yeah. Because his first name Othniel. I can't believe that his first name is that. Anyway, they were both searching for fossils, okay, in Nebraska, Colorado, Wyoming, in all these rich bone beds, okay? Bone beds. That sounds like a good thing. And each of them used underhanded methods to try to outcompete each other in the field, okay? So they were bribing, thieving, destroying each other's bones,
doing cocaine.
I don't know. Maybe they were like grinding up dinosaur bones and sniffing them. Yeah, who knows what they were doing.
That sounds crazy. Why would you do that?
They were basically, they hated each other. They were these bitter rivals, okay?
Right.
And they raced to publish new dinosaurs, okay? But they were all kind of Frankenstein's monsters, you know, because they didn't really know what they were doing. And a lot of them were fake. So what they would do is they would just get any old bones out of the ground that were jumbled together and shove them all back together to try and build, like, you know, it would be like Lego, you know. And so
I feel like at the best of times that's what you know, dinosaur bones are, because how do they know? Like, it's crazy. How do they know where the bits go? Like, if I found a bunch of bones in the ground, I would never be able to piece them together. I mean, bearing in mind, I'm not actually trained in this field whatsoever, but still, I feel like it's, you know, I feel like it's a little bit of a... God, this gun fucking sucks balls, actually. I'm really annoyed about this.
Alright, Sips, just keep it together for 10 seconds.
Okay, well, I'm trying to.
Clearly you're not trained. The fact is that if you look, for example, if you Google gorilla skeleton versus human skeleton, you'll see there's like an enormous amount of similarity there. You know, almost... You know, 99% of our genetic structure is shared, or more, like 99.7. So, you know, the fact is that we are very, very, very similar to the great apes, and it's reflected in the skeleton. If you look at sometimes these skeletons, it's sometimes hard to even tell the difference, but certainly in certain parts. So, what you have is an idea of what bones do what based on their size. So the femur is obviously a weight-bearing bone.
Always back to the femur. The femur. I think we need to pronounce it properly too, because like if you just say femur, it doesn't do it a lot of justice. I think we have to call it the femur.
This very
I think that sounds better.
But surely that has to have an E on the end. Never mind. We're not going to get into grammatical discussions about this stuff too. We've got enough to talk about.
Do QILs ever cover like grammaticals and stuff, or not really?
I'd like to. Not really. I don't think it's one of their main things, but certainly, if it's interesting, then I think they probably have. I'm sure Stephen Fry loves it, so anything grammatical they can get in there, probably he just has a hard-on instantly for.
Nice.
I do like Stephen Fry though. So actually, he's left QI now. It's now Sandy Toxvig going to be presenting it from now on.
And Gary Drinker Coke or whatever his name is.
Gary Drinker Coke.
He's
busy doing the Bone Wars.
Dinosaur boy.
He's boning it up. So
it's
yeah,
just like polishing bones. Having
a lot of they published 142 new dinosaurs or something combined, but like almost all of them, only 32 of them are actually valid, because the rest of them are just made up. You know, they'd put like 3 dinosaurs worth of bones together and make this horrific monster, chuck away all the extra skulls they got left over, you know. And you know,
and this is because they were so busy trying to have like a competition rather than actually taking science seriously.
And I think
that's a lesson to everybody. If you're in the field of science, don't have a competition. Stay true to the ideals of science. Right?
Well, I think one of the ones which was very much... Sorry, go on. I was ignoring you because I was just trying to find this out. What did you just say?
I wasn't even paying attention to what I was saying.
Stay true to the ideals of... What are you saying? Sorry, this is what you get when you get hard mode.
Oh, it's this... Yeah, this is really hard, actually.
Name a load of dinosaurs, and I'll tell you whether they're real or not. Because some of them aren't
real.
A
velociraptor.
That is definitely real, yes. You can have that one.
A Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That is a real dinosaur, yes. They were
Ankylosaurus.
Ankylosaurus. I mean, that's the one with the
with the big ball at the end of his tail.
Yeah, I think that one is real. Yeah.
Okay.
That one.
What about a Stegosaurus?
Sure, that's definitely real. That's got those big plates. Okay, you're getting.
What
the good
about
ones.
a Brontosaurus?
Now that one is not real. That is one of the bullshit ones. Now that is one which was found by Charles Marsh and was initially bollocks. Because it was like, it was too big, it didn't make sense, he'd done it wrong. But I think that very recently they came back and did a version of it which was probably alright.
Okay. Well,
so
they just did like a revision of the Brontosaurus.
Yeah, it got kind of version 2 of it, or whatever, it got revised. But apparently it wasn't, because when I read about this first, like a few years back, it was all this big controversy. But now I think they've settled on it actually being not as bad.
What about a pterodactyl?
I think that's a real one again. I think the pterodactyl is a good example of one of the dinosaurs which survived the apocalypse, kind of, or didn't necessarily survive, but basically modern birds.
It flew into space. Oh man, that's how it avoided all of the catastrophe that was happening on the planet. It just flew into space, just chilled up there for a bit. It's like, yeah, no problem. Came back down when everything was fine, and to this day, of course, you can hear the terrifying screech of the pterodactyl in our skies. Just go outside. Well, there you'll hear it.
Sorry, I don't mean it survived in a sense, but what I mean is that some modern life does come from dinosaurs. So some dinosaurs,
because aren't like alligators and crocodiles considered dinosaurs?
Maybe.
And there's of course, you know, lots of stuff that hasn't even been discovered under the sea, because you know, most of the sea is still relatively unexplored, isn't it? Because so
deep. I think that's not really the case. I think that if anything were to be still alive under the areas that are unexplored, i.e. they're very, very, very deep, they would have to be very specific, and they probably wouldn't be anything recognizable to us. When you
do you believe in giant squid? Because that terrifies me.
Yeah, we saw a giant squid. There's definitely a giant squid.
Okay, but I mean one that's like fucking like a mile long and like a leviathan squid.
I don't think
you know,
it's
like the size
big.
of a whale or something.
I think whales aren't a mile long, but
no, but you know what I mean, like something huge.
So sorry, yes. So to sum up, all birds that are on Earth today did come from dinosaurs in some way. The pterodactyl isn't around, but other stuff is. I'm not sure alligators and crocodiles are technically dinosaurs. They are lizards and reptiles, but that's kind of where the words dinosaur came from, because I think saurus means, it's the Greek for lizard.
Right. I can't tell if you're joking or not.
No, I think it is, because like I think Brontosaurus was thunder lizard, wasn't it? And Pterosaurus was like flying lizard or winged lizard or something like that. So I think there is a link there. What was that last thing you said? Oh, it's the giant squid. Again, the ocean is very, very big. And yes, very unexplored, but the areas of the ocean that are unexplored are very, very deep, and therefore they're very, very dark. No light can get down to these areas of the ocean, which limits the amount of light that can be there. That's why you need a submersible.
But what's the deepest like a human-made submersible can go? Because there's a lot of pressure, obviously, the deeper you go. And I think that the deepest that you could go is like 20 feet or something before shit starts to really hit the fan.
Well, I think you have to ask James Cameron about that. You know.
Yeah, he knows.
He loves to go.
Because he, of course, discovered the wreck of the Titanic.
That's right.
And that was the Titanic. Like the wreck of the Titanic's pretty deep, though, right? Like they even had some trouble getting.
Again, I don't think he discovered it. I think he went and looked around it.
Did he? I don't know if he even did that. You know, I think he made a movie.
Didn't he?
No, he fucking didn't. James Cameron.
James Cameron went famously was like a submarine explorer.
Shut up.
He was.
He wishes. He fucking wishes.
He fucking was, Sips. I wasn't even joking.
You're joking, right?
I'm not joking.
Well, it's a funny joke anyway, because, I mean, James Cameron, this is the same guy that made Angel, the TV series Angel, right?
Yeah.
No way that he's been in a submarine before, okay?
He fucking went to, like, the bottom of the Atlantic or something. He had some dumbass fucking project that he had, and he was in it.
Okay, I think we can agree that he has worked on a couple of dumbass projects before, but he's not been to the bottom of the sea. There's no fucking way.
Hang on. Deep sea dives. Okay. On March the 7th, 2012,
Shut up.
Cameron took the Deep Sea Challenger to the bottom of the New Britain Trench in a 5-mile deep solo dive. He went 5 miles down.
I take it all back.
That's how fucking deep it is. So he spent more than 3 hours exploring the ocean floor before returning to the surface. He's the first person to come to the trip solo. There were unmanned dives, blah, blah, blah. He made a 3D film during this trip. He collected new...
Oh, yeah.
He discovered a new species of sea cucumber, squid worm, giant single-celled amoeba, which are exciting finds due to the harshness of the environment. So there you go. So basically...
He fucking would.
It's so deep down there that there's only two ways to survive. Obviously, first thing, it's very, very high pressure. You know,
way number one, be James Cameron. And way number two, discover a new breed of sea cucumber.
No, if you were under that deep in the ocean, okay, there's only two ways to survive. One is to have energy sources dropping down from above. So, like, things die, or like a fish is eating some food, but it drops it and it sinks. So, some scavengers can survive in the dark by eating the detritus that has dropped down into the dark.
Yeah.
Okay. The other way to survive in the dark at the bottom of there is with some sort of either artificial light source or artificial energy source in some way. So, for example, there are some hydrothermal vents in the sea, a little bit like hot springs on land, pumping out heat and usually things like sulfur. And some sulfur-based life forms have been found. I think they're called extremophiles. So these kind of things that could live in extreme conditions. So it's unlikely.
So do you think Cameron found one of these things, and that's how he was successful? He found a vent, and he just, like, you know, hovered above it or whatever, and it's like, hey, fuck you, nature. I've done it. No, Cameron wins.
For a start, I think he's a vegan, right? And second, he obviously did it after Titanic, so he wouldn't have been able to do this ridiculous thing without, like, the money that he made from
Titanic.
Stuff. Yeah. So yeah, he's an expert on deep sea exploration stuff because I think because he did The Abyss, remember? That was his original.
That's ruined my whole day. Yeah, he's had some really good movies, actually. It's true. That's ruined my whole day, though, because I wanted him to just be good at making a couple of movies and not do other things. Like, I had him pigeonholed big time as just like Cameron, stay in your box, all right? Just stick to the movies. Stick to what you're good at, all right? We don't want any more deep sea diving or like fucking spacewalks or whatever's next for you. Just can it, okay?
He made a film in 1981 called Piranha 2: The Spawning. Can you believe it? And then they were like, this is so good, we're going to have you direct Terminator 2 Terminator and Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I'll tell you what, because he also directed Aliens, which was the second Alien movie, which was arguably the best in the trilogy. So Cameron has this ability to come in mid-trilogy and make a good movie. How does he do it?
He's unique. He's a unique man. He did direct.
He's a unique dude.
Terminator, by the way, not just.
Did he do the first one too?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I thought he just came in out of nowhere.
He wrote it.
Like,
as well.
Who's this fucking little Jimmy here? Little Jimmy Cameron out of nowhere. This fucking blockbuster movie. Guns N' Roses on the soundtrack.
The Who are you doing an impression of there?
I don't sound like some movie guy, I guess. I don't know.
Movie guy.
It's like stock movie guy.
I'm in charge of movies here at Movie Corp.
Anyway, I got a bombshell to drop on you, which we'll discuss next time.
My name is James Drink a Coke. Oh, drink a Pepsi even. I signed a
movie
deal.
director. Yeah.
James Drink a Pepsi.
James Pepsi Cola. Anyway, goodbye.
Bye.